What's cracking? What's cracking? What's motherfucking cracking? Shout out to you if you know that reference. Little Joe U. Yeah, that was a little dude on old dude on Twitter back in the day. That shit was gas pack. But anyway, you know what time it is. It's time for the Wednesday rant. I never, like, I'm not really ever gonna go into these with a plan. I just want it purely off the dome, ranting, what's on my mind. And I guess my goal for these is to share how I think, in not saying that you need to think like me to get to where you want to go, but I do think that if you can connect or take even slight things away with how I think, it can definitely change your life. You'll think about things a lot differently, and yeah, that's just my goal with these. So I don't know. One thing that's been on my mind is one thing that's been on my mind has been how a lot of guys now, I feel like, are scared of commitment. And that can be relationship, or where I just see it as like day-to-day life, where people have goals. Everybody, the drunk talks. You're with your boys, you're in the bar drinking, everybody's like, oh bro, what if we did this? What if we did that? But none of them will ever do it because they will not commit. They will not commit. But you know what? You can commit to whatever it is that you want. You can commit to building that business. You can commit to having the physique of your dreams, which, by the way, I just want to say, I was talking about this with somebody earlier today. When you get shredded, get ripped, you get treated completely different, bro. Completely different. You make better connections in the gym. People come up to you. People respect you more because you're more disciplined. And it's almost like your business card, like your physique can be your business card. It's how people first perceive you. And I think that that's a big thing. So I think that not saying that you have to be ripped to be successful in business, obviously, but I do think that that's a good stepping stone if, your goal eventually is that. But let's get back to the topic of fitness and commitment. So that's definitely something I see where, like, guys don't want to commit to their goals. They start something, it doesn't go easy, they back out, and they don't believe that they can do it. And this goes back to my post on Instagram the other day, like the self-image theory. People, if you've been fat your whole life, or if you've been skinny your whole life, you don't think that you can be anything different because you have perceived that for so long. And it's not necessarily that you don't think you can be anything different, but you don't think that you can be the type of person to be shredded, or you don't think you can be the type of person to have a lot of muscle and weigh more. Like, you just don't think that you can be that guy. But you can 100% be that guy. Like, I'm telling you right now, and same thing as last week's video, but I just want to stress this point. You have to believe that you can do anything you want. Like, sure, if you're 5'4", you're probably not making it to the NBA. So there's obviously limits to this, but it goes back to the thing of betting on yourself and believing in yourself to an extent that it's almost delusional. And I mean, that's kind of the truth, though. To make it in anything, to be successful in anything, you kind of have to be delusional, because where you start from, sorry, ran out of camera storage. But what I was saying was, to make it in anything, you kind of have to be delusional. Like, where you're starting from, your goals are going to be so far from where you are, if you're actually shooting for good goals, that You kind of have to be delusional to think that I thought I fixed the storage issue, and guess I did not. So let's try this for a third time. Anyway, it goes back to the whole shoot for the stars, land on the moon type thing. If your goals are so high, then you fall short of those goals, you still want to make sure that you land in a good spot. Your goal should not be, and I think the easiest way to go with analogies are just money purposes. But let's say you start a business and you're like, oh, I want to make $5K a month. Okay, you fall short of that. Now you're at $3K. Now you can barely afford your shit. Now you can barely afford to live. Why would you not say, okay, I want to make $1 million a month. And then if you fall short of that, now you're making $500K a month. Well, still turned out pretty good. And that's obviously a pretty extreme example, but that's how things should be. Like, if you going to fitness purposes, if you want to be down to, I don't know, 10% body fat, shoot for 7. Don't say I want to get to 10 and then fall short and get to 13, 15. And obviously you would still be fairly happy, but you're not going to be fully happy at 15 if your goal is to be super shredded or something. You know what I mean? So I think that's how it should be. You need to believe that you can do anything, be delusional about it, and set lofty ass goals. And if you fall short, you will land on the moon and you will still be in a good spot. So that's the 3 takeaways I want you to have from this video. And like I was telling my friend the other day, this is an insane scenario, but for instance, he's way better at basketball than I am. Like, hands down, if we played one-on-one, like, I'm not a one-on-one player. I'm a spot-up shooter. If we're playing one-on-one basketball, he would probably beat me 10 times out of 10 times. But if somebody was to say that, all right, you guys are going to 1v1, and whoever loses dies, I'm going to bet on myself, because I can control myself. I can control that what I do, my own actions, to, if I have time to prepare for that game, I can prepare with intent, I can work, I can grind my ass off to be as prepared as I can, and I can control my actions in the game. If he gets up and starts beating me, I can make adjustments. And that's how it is with life, with working out, with fitness. You make adjustments as you go. You prepare, you make adjustments, and it's not always going to be smooth sailing. So that's where tying it all back together, I know this probably seems like I wasn't going to come back to that, but it comes back to that commitment issue. If you're not committed, if you're not going to look and see what needs changed, or if you're going to say, I want to get to this goal, but then you're not going to actually take actions to change things in your daily life, to change your habits, you're never going to get there. So that pretty much sums it up. I think men have an issue with being committed. We have an issue with believing in ourselves. And that's what I want you to do after this. Just be fucking delusional, all right? Whatever it is your goal is, you got it. Be delusional, shoot for the stars, and live every day like you are going to get to those goals no matter what. Live your day like the person that you want to be. All right, see you guys in the next one.